Everybody, welcome back to Recliner Sports Talk. My name's Nick.
I'm Brandon.
Episode 6 coming at you guys. All right, 6 already. Feel like we just started here. Got a lot on the slate for you guys. First up, we're going to change it up a little bit this week, kind of go back to our old ways. Going to have a little script, talk about some different sports, not just the NFL here. So we're going to start off with what QB would you start a franchise around right now? And you can't say a certain somebody. We'll get to that. Then we'll talk some MLB playoffs. And then college football finally leveling out, possibly. We'll have to see. So first thing, Brandon's guy, kind of everybody's guy, very likable guy here. Patrick Mahomes, we all know if we said we could start a franchise right now, today, with a certain quarterback, 95% of people are picking Patrick Mahomes. All right, Patrick Mahomes out of the equation. Brandon, right now, you're GM. It's like your fantasy Madden league right here, okay? What quarterback are you taking?
I think there's really two standout options, both in the AFC. I'm personally, after last week, but I've said all along this guy is the best quarterback in the last year's draft. Now you know who it is. Justin Herbert, man. What is he? He's 22. He's 22 years old. He's 6'6" at what? Probably 220. He's a fairly big guy. He's athletic, but dude, his arm is incredible. Now, Josh Allen might have a stronger arm. Josh Allen might be a little more mobile. Justin Herbert just seems to be the guy. He's very accurate. I think he's more accurate than Josh Allen. I like Josh Allen. He would have been my second pick, but I think Herbert's going to be the better pro. Now, it's like choosing between two. I think they're going to be in their time period, they're going to be consistently top 3 quarterbacks. I think Mahomes, Allen, and Herbert are going to be your top 3 for the near future, for the next 12 years. I think those are the 3. And I think I think the Chargers have a better chance to win down the road. I think Buffalo's built for now. Their defense is built for now. Singletary and Zach Moss, those are decent running backs. But I think Buffalo's never going to get past Kansas City. Yeah, they won last week, whatever. I think Kansas City is going to have Buffalo's number. I think the Chargers are actually going to be the team to beat moving forward in the future, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years from now. I do. I think Herbert's good. I think their defense it's young, and I think their defense is only going to get better. Buffalo's, like I said, their defense is a little older. So I think slight edge to Herbert. That's just my opinion.
All right. And I think the big thing here before I get into mine is how do teams handle the roster? Because guess what? Out of all the guys we can pick from, they're going to have to get paid. So it's all right. You're going to put this big price tag on your quarterback. Then who are you paying after that, right? We see it with Russ a little bit right now. Obviously, he had a lot of success. Now look at his roster right now. He's got DK and guys.
Yeah, and that's it.
And now look at their team right now. They've been struggling. He's got to do crazy stuff for them to stay afloat. Now, I wanted to be a little different here. I think with this being said, you might know who I'm saying. I know it's going to be between Herbert or Allen. So I was like, how can I get creative to not pick the basic pick, right? And this isn't like, oh my God, I can't believe you picked this guy, but just the feel from him. And I'm biased. Quarterbacks from this college, I've been a big fan of. Lamar Jackson.
Oh, okay.
Is who I'm going to pick here.
All right, that's a fair pick. He won an MVP.
Now, here's the thing. Exactly. He's won MVP. The crazy thing is I keep on forgetting how young he is. He's 24. He's in his 4th year in the league. Okay. And what he did last week is so impressive to me because any team that loses their first and second running back and is a run first team, that kills a whole season. That really does. And so what are they having to do? Make Lamar throw. I'm pretty sure he was 37 for 43 last game. This is a dude that I watched in the playoffs struggle passing the ball. And we saw with Deshaun Watson when he was kind of that guy that before Lamar, teams were just saying, go ahead and pass against us. What did he do? He got better. Now, obviously, off the field, a little questionable. Lamar's taking that same footsteps on the field where it's like, all right, guess what? I am going to pass and I am going to beat you. And I think for what he can do, he's going to have to get a little bit safer with his body. But guess what? The man plays games. Okay. I think, what is it? Let me see. He's played 15 games. So that means he's missed one game the past each season the past 2 years. His completion percentages, now he also has 100 less attempts than this guy did. But Tom Brady, early on in his career, had lower completion percentages than Lamar Jackson, the guy who we're saying can't pass like that. So I am a big believer in Lamar. The year after he won the Heisman's when I became a fan, because you know how much pressure that is nonstop to be like, hey, Lamar's back, Lamar's back, Lamar's back. And he was with a very subpar Louisville team. He was their whole team. That's a tough ask for a guy to not try to do whatever he can to try to live up to that Heisman trophy. So since then, and the biggest thing I like about him, just like Josh Allen, he's a guy's guy. I feel like the whole team hovers around him. I don't know about Herbert as much. Obviously, he's doing really well. But Josh Allen, definitely the Bills all surround themselves around him. The Ravens all love Lamar. And that was something when I was thinking about this, it was like the whole city of Baltimore, the whole team loves Lamar. That would be a guy I would love to start a franchise with.
Dude, honestly, I like the pick. I like Lamar. He's really impressed me more so this year than ever, because if he gets even average at passing the ball, Nick, I mean, he's special. Like, he's that good.
He's making Hollywood Brown look like a Pro Bowler.
Yeah. How about Mark Andrews?
Mark Andrews in fantasy. I know fantasy different than real football. Had 40 points. 40
yeah,
points.
no. Lamar, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to watch Lamar for 5 seconds and say, that dude's pretty good.
Yeah. And Mark Andrews is not doing what the top tight ends in the league like Kelsey and Kittle can do. He cannot do that stuff. And he's making him one of the best tight ends in the league. He's a big target. I understand does some cool stuff. But without Lamar, I don't think those same numbers happen. So I think with either of our picks, you can't go wrong. I like saying without Mahomes because that would have been too easy. You and I both say Mahomes, and boom, we're moving on. Another guy to keep an eye on. Now, this is the thing that always scares me. I know height is kind of going away, but Kyler, can he keep it up? Obviously, Cardinals 5-0. You know, are they a fake 5-0? Are they a real 5-0? You're as good as your record says, but they did beat the Rams. Can they keep it up? And I think I talked about that last week or the week before. I don't know if they can keep it up.
We'll see. I mean, the Carolina Panthers were 3-0 and then lost to the Cowboys and the Eagles in back-to-back weeks. So
yeah, and I see Lamar has a better coach and team around him to last longer than Kyler might.
Yeah, well, Harbaugh is one of the best coaches in football. I'd say top 5, top 3 maybe, honestly. I like McDermott, the Bills coach. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
I love that guy. So he's got a good coach around him. I think their team, like I said, I don't know. They need to get younger guys defensively.
Yeah.
So we'll see with that moving forward.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was some good quarterback talk there. Obviously, we could talk about the Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Mahomes all day. It's nice talking about those guys as well. But on to MLB playoffs. Big game tonight. Brandon and I were just talking about it. The last people we really want to watch tonight are the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm not watching.
Playing the Buccaneers. Although, we're going to talk about it real quick. I think if there's a chance for the Eagles to beat the Buccaneers, this is the perfect situation to try to do so with the Buccaneers injuries and a Thursday night's kind of like that wild card type of game, you know? So, but going on to the MLB playoffs, obviously the Astros are on. The Red Sox are on. The Braves, right? Braves on, or do they have another game left?
No, they won.
So then we have the Giants and the Dodgers. The two best teams in baseball playing in the first round. Absolutely madness to me.
I hate it.
Absolutely madness. How's there not a reseeding to where they can go on to the next round? But we're getting that tonight, 9:07. They're helping out the people on the East Coast a little bit, not making it a 10 o'clock start. Brandon, what have you seen from the playoffs? Obviously, your Yankees got a slight taste in the playoffs there, but they might have lost to the team that might win it all. What do you think?
Dude, Boston is on fire now. I hate Boston. I'm not going to admit it, but They're good. They're good. Now, Houston will win. I am pretty confident in that. It looks like Houston's got their swagger back. Last year was a shortened season, 60 games. They didn't play well. I think Altuve was batting like 200 for the longest time. They have their stuff together now. They have a lot of young guys. Their pitching's pretty solid. Their bullpen's not the best, but it's admirable. I don't trust Boston to beat them. Boston has Eovaldi. Their bullpen's Eovaldi's good. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not saying they had the best starting pitching. Their bullpen's kind of shaky. I don't know. I think Houston wins, and I think they win like 4-1. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say 5 games Houston wins. Now, NL, the Braves have no shot over whoever wins.
I don't think they do.
Zero shot. I don't care what Zachary Candeloro says.
No.
They have no shot.
I understand the Brewers were good this year, but I never felt like they were ever like that team, you know?
And the Braves aren't that team.
No. Isn't it crazy that the Braves do this well without their best player?
Yeah, well, is he a locker room problem? You know, sometimes.
Freddie Freeman's the best player, right?
Yes, he is.
You saw, so he hits the go-ahead home run in the game.
Yeah, off of a left-handed pitcher.
And the best part, right, there's nobody on. How do you give him a good pitch to hit? Their best player.
I mean, it was high, but true. It was probably a ball.
I'm going to let a lot of other people beat me before I let Freddie Freeman beat me.
Absolutely.
So that was, again, that's kind of the Brewers. I never saw the Brewers as a threat to make it past this round, whoever they played, you know?
And it's Atlanta. Whoever wins the Dodgers-Giants game is going to make the World Series. I'm pretty confident in saying that.
Yeah, and the Dodgers, right? They're putting the reliever Corey Nebel, I think you say his name.
Yeah, he's starting.
Game. So are they doing a starter and Urias is coming in relief? Like, what's happening here?
Didn't Urias pitch like game 2?
Yeah, but my thing is, right? That's been your best pitcher all year.
He had 20 wins.
And I would start. Why not start him? He's a starter. I know he's a young guy, but pitch your guy. We saw this with the Rays last year. Come on, man. I think the very good chance that the Giants walk away with this one because of this thing right here. Now, I could be completely wrong. We could talk about next week how, all right, the Dodgers shut them out, and here we go. But I really don't like this move. I've never been a fan of the opener.
Let me look up the weather because San Francisco can get pretty cold and rainy. That could have a factor.
Yeah. Well, my thing with it, again, I'm pissed off that 2 100-win teams play each other in the first round. It's
106 and 107
from the same division. That's nuts that can happen in the first round. Unbelievable.
I hate the wild. I hate it. I think you should go, you know what? Well, every sport does, except hockey. Hockey, I don't think division winner. Yeah, never mind. I'm wrong. Wait, no, did hockey go to a two kind of?
I'm a bad person talking about hockey.
I think it's BS that you could win. The Braves win 85 games. They win 20 less games than the Dodgers, and they don't have a wild card. Like, that's so.
They're playing the Brewers in the first round.
Yeah, and then the imagine winning 106 games and you're in a wild card situation. Like,
unreal.
That's insane. That diminishes the entire regular season.
It should be the lowest 2 win percentages.
Yeah, I agree. It's so stupid. But
they might make a change for catching a bunch of flack for it this year.
I looked at the weather, 66 and sunny.
Yeah, so what's the move there for? What's the move?
I think the Giants win 4-2.
I think I want the Giants to win. It's nothing against the Dodgers. Dodgers got their shine last year. Cool. Now they were that stacked team, right? They signed Mookie, all this stuff. But when you get from the Nationals, Scherzer and Trey Turner, it's like, come on, man. Come on. The Giants are doing it with Evan Longoria. Who was with the Tampa Bay Rays in 2008 in their World Series.
Brandon Crawford's having a hell of a year.
He is, and he's been there forever.
He hit a home run, what was that, 2 games ago? in like the 8th inning. I mean, it was a shot. His swing is beautiful. He's got one of the best swings in baseball.
And he's a great defensive shortstop.
Yeah, he's good.
So it's nice to see some good baseball here again. I am one of those bad fans. I kind of follow this in the NBA. I'll watch the Phillies. I haven't really watched anybody else unless they played the Phillies. I probably haven't watched them too much. Same with like NBA Sixers. I watch Sixers, whoever they play. If they didn't play them, I'm not watching. So it's cool to get to be excited for an actual baseball game. It's been a while for me.
I will say I do watch other teams now. Maybe it's just me, but like Milwaukee or Atlanta. I've seen Atlanta a lot this year in person. I've seriously seen the Braves play like 5 times this year, 6 times. I mainly watch the Yankees, but I will watch the Red Sox and the Rays. And sometimes I'll turn because we get in Delaware, we get the Phillies and we get the Nationals and we get the Orioles. So we have a lot to choose from. At least in my house, we get a lot to choose from. So I might tune it on, but yeah, like the Indians or Tigers or White Sox or the Twins, like I don't watch that stuff. Now I will watch the Dodgers. I watch the Dodgers. I watch the Angels because I like Trout and Ohtani. But anyone else, I'm more East Coast bias again with that. I don't really watch the Midwest.
Except the Golden State Warriors.
Well, it's because I mean I like watching Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Who doesn't? But the time we talked about this, it kind of stinks. And a lot of the times, those like Midwestern teams really aren't on TV that often in any sport, other than football, obviously. But
yeah. All right, moving on to our last thing there, college football. Now, Brandon, if I read this to you, top 4 this week was Georgia, Iowa, Cincinnati, Oklahoma. If I told you this before the season started, would you go, huh?
I'll tell you what, Oklahoma, now I will say I have watched basically every top 25 team in college football. I have watched them. I've watched a lot of college football this year. Iowa does not impress me. Penn State does not impress me. Oklahoma really does not impress me. Talk about a choke job by Texas. I watched that entire game. Texas, What are you doing? Oklahoma, not impressive. Rattler, scrub.
All right, we'll get it. I want to get into that with you after we talk about this top 25. But yeah, I 100% agree there.
I think Cincinnati is deserving of the 3 ranking.
They like returned all their guys from last year, and they're undefeated again. And they beat. I understand Notre Dame is going to fall off here, but Notre Dame also ranked at Notre Dame. That's a tough place to win at. Why not? Why not?
I mean, Nick, Notre Dame's lost 2 times in 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care who you are. They're pretty good. 1 loss last year, 1 loss this year.
Now, these guys, they bought me back in. I was out. Oregon, their defense stinks. They changed play calling on defense. And they've looked better now. They haven't played anybody, but guess what? You're going to know if Ohio State's good or not because you got Michigan, Penn State, and
Michigan State.
Michigan State still on the schedule.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Penn State, they lost, but guess what? If they beat Michigan State, Michigan, and Ohio State, guess where they are? Right back in the Big Ten championship versus Iowa. Iowa pretty much clinched that already because the West stinks. The East is where, of course, the top 4 teams are, outside, excluding Iowa, the next 4 in the Big Ten are Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State. They're all in the Big Ten East. So whoever comes out of that, it doesn't matter if you have 1 loss. Ohio State, doesn't matter. You'll make the college football playoff if you win the Big Ten this year, unless you have 2 losses, which I don't see that happening.
Kind of that SEC feel, right? Where they got all these teams in top 15. And it's like, hey, you can get through this gauntlet. You're going to get a chance.
I'll tell you what, Alabama's getting in. I mean, unless they lose to Georgia in the SEC championship and they get 2 losses.
Georgia, Alabama win out the rest of the year. They're both in. No doubt.
They're both in.
If Alabama loses to Georgia, I guarantee you they're still in.
I don't think so.
I think so because I think Iowa is, or Let me go back.
Well, you're kind of right because I don't trust Oklahoma's going to lose, and Iowa's going to end up losing a game. And Cincinnati, honestly, if they run the table, Cincinnati is pretty much in. They're in.
Yeah.
I think, obviously, Georgia, I don't see them messing up until they play Alabama. Florida's not very good. The SEC East this year is kind of weak. South Carolina's bad. Kentucky's good, but I don't think they're going to beat Georgia. Vanderbilt, Missouri, Florida. I don't know. They're kind of scrubby. Georgia should run the table.
Yes, I agree. I think Georgia's defense might be one of the best we've seen in the past 10 years. Now, obviously, there's been some Alabama
it's that good. Yeah.
Kicked butt, but Georgia's defense is lights out. Lights out. So again, they haven't played the best offenses in the world. So
doesn't matter.
But I think Georgia's defense just looks that good. I think Ohio State, like I said, Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan State, all have a chance. You know who else has a chance? Kentucky.
They do.
Why not? They're 6-0.
They got to beat Georgia. Come on.
They have a chance. They have a chance.
It's going to be hard to beat Georgia.
Oh, of course it is. But it was also going to be hard to beat Alabama, and Texas A&M did it.
I'm still shocked at that. I'm beyond shocked. Because Texas A&M, I've watched 2 full Texas A&M games.
Texas A&M has top recruiting classes the past couple of years, like top.
Did you watch them play Colorado? That was the worst offensive game I've ever seen.
I get that, but they also had dudes to match Alabama, and that's what helps out when you get all those recruits. I understand that they're not doing what they need to be doing, but when you have dudes, sometimes they match up. All right, so we can finish with this here. The Caleb Williams, Spencer Rattler here. Now, I think you and I both agree we have not been fans of Spencer Rattler since last year. But the Caleb Williams coming in going 15 for 24 with 211 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, and Spencer Rattler going into the locker room by himself. I think you got to start Caleb Williams, right? You got to start with him. The team rallied right around him, brought him right back, and again, Spencer Rattler. Go to the locker room by yourself, bud. They'll take care of it.
I heard Rattler is the epitome of an a-hole. Like, even people on campus don't even like him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get weird vibes from the guy. The freshman comes right in, and that run was kind of funny. He was stumbling and rumbling to the end zone, and after that, his confidence was sky high. And I think that really helped him out. And now, honestly, moving forward, what a big win! You're down big to Texas in a rivalry game, in a incredible rivalry, and you come back. You're the man. You're big man. You're a freshman, big man on campus. You lead Oklahoma back to victory, and now Oklahoma is still in the college football playoff hunt because of that. I'll tell you what, I don't know how you don't start the kid. And also, shout out. I'm pretty sure he's from DC. I don't know where in high school he went. I would guess DeMatha. That would be my guess, that he went to DeMatha. But he looked good. He doesn't look 18. He looks very mature. His body is looks more mature than an 18-year-old, I will say.
Yeah, he's a bigger dude too.
Yeah.
So, here's the thing, and like I said, I want to end on it. The craziest thing in college football right now is these big time programs can't keep good backups because they just transfer. They transfer. If Penn State, I'm pretty sure, is their backup quarterback the Kentucky quarterback from last year? Do you know?
Could be. He didn't look good. Number 2, saying?
Yeah, but so that what I'm saying is Penn State did have a good backup, and then he transfers to go play somewhere else. If whoever their other backup was comes in, they probably win that game against Iowa. The toughest thing right now is for these teams, if a quarterback goes down, well, their other 5-star, 4-star, 3-star recruit they had is probably somewhere else now. So now you're going with a guy that's not as good. You're not getting these junior, senior backups anymore. The good teams are getting this junior quarterback with a 5-star freshman, like, hey, this guy's going to get drafted. Don't worry. You'll start as a sophomore, sit back for a year, those type of things. So with this transfer rule, these teams have no backup. So if that quarterback goes down, anything can happen. Anything. We saw it with Penn State. So it'll be interesting to see how these teams can start to handle that with this transfer rule intact. Because unlike receiver, guess what? There's only one quarterback on the field at a time. So it's tough. And
I hate the transfer thing. I hate it.
Never was a fan.
I hate it. I hate it even more in college basketball. Oh my. Like, are you kidding me?
Yep, this today's age. It's happening in high schools too. So it's today's age, and it always trickles down, right? It was the pro players requesting trades, then it was colleges transferring, now high schools are transferring.
Oh my God, it's all a joke. People have no patience and they don't want to work for anything. Beat him out. Look at the freshman. He beat out Spencer Rattler. Don't transfer. Beat him out. Get better.
Or hey, guess what? You're right. A lot of people don't start as freshmen. There's a good amount that don't start as sophomores, and there's plenty that have great careers as 2-year starters. Plenty guys that go are 2-year starters that get drafted.
Absolutely.
Look at all these guys, right? Mark Sanchez. I know I'm not saying the best quarterbacks in the world. Mitch Trubisky, all those guys. Dwayne Haskins. Again, I know I'm not saying the best quarterbacks, but it happens. It happens. So, all right. Any closing thoughts there, Brandon?
I just want to say my fantasy team has been disappointing this year. Julio Jones, dude, get on the field. What are we doing? Calvin Ridley, personal reasons. What does that mean? I really want to know. What is a personal issue? When did that become a thing? I mean, come on. I need you, Calvin. I need you. Dalvin Cook getting injured. Sterling Shepard getting injured. And you know what? That's 4 starters for me. I'm putting in Jamal Williams and freaking, well, at the time, Kadarius Toney. But guess who looked pretty good? Kadarius Toney. Shout out Odell Beckham Jr. Even the punch was reminiscent of OBJ. I mean, you got to love that.
Yeah, and my fantasy team is also struggling. Started off 2-0 and is stinking it up. Injuries all over the place, and guys just not playing well. So something I'm excited about. Okay, I mentioned it before, but we are starting to get into this fall weather. I know it's far away from any like really cold stuff, but this time of year, the Halloween-ish time, it's the best time of football. It really is, because it's gonna be too cold here soon to like do a bunch of things outside. Let me enjoy this last bit outside. Let me enjoy some football. Watching fall football, nothing better.
It's the best, but I will say it has been rather warm since August. I mean, I was talking last night. I really don't think we've had a temperature like lower than like 65 as a high is what I'm saying. Yeah. And when it is 65, it's rain. Like tomorrow, what's it going to be? 80, 82 degrees, something like that. Today was like 78. Beautiful. I mean, I'll take it. I'm not complaining. It's just odd. We're getting into the back half of October, and even the 10-day forecast is showing 70s for Delaware, which is kind of odd. But last year I looked it up. Guess what it was on Halloween, what the high temperature was?
What was it?
46 degrees with a low of 35. 35. We're trick-or-treating in the 30s, and it's going to be 80 tomorrow? I mean, come on.
Yeah, that is crazy. So, but yeah, hey, everybody. Thank you very much for watching Recliner Sports Talk episode 6. My name's Nick.
I'm Brandon.
See you guys next week on Recliner Sports Talk.